Ondo holders, welcome back. I want to talk about the big news headline that we had this week. We're going to talk about the acquisition within Ondo and Oasis Pro here in this video. And I'll give you my thoughts here as Ondo fans and holders are awaiting that next breakout for Ondo Finance. Okay, so as you guys all know, if you watch my stuff each and every single day, very big on what Ondo is doing, my number one RWA play personally. And I want to share with you guys my thoughts as this video gets going. So if you're new to the channel and you do hold Ondo Finance, like crypto, make sure you all subscribe down below. And also, if you want to take the time, go over to my X page. You can follow me over there. I do post every single day, basically what's on my mind. So please do so. Those links are down below as well. So let's get into it. Let's talk about the market. Another red day. Okay. And that's quite all right. We've been running extremely hot. And I think that as we look at the government shutdown in the United States looming, that's kind of where you expect this volatility, right? What goes up must go down. Nothing steady and organic pushing crypto higher. It's just basically been reactionary and playing off of the news each and every single day. We haven't had that FOMO wave where we just see 5, 6, 12% gains every single day compounding, where everybody and their brother just jumps on the crypto bandwagon, right? We haven't got that. We haven't had that bull run that we saw back in 2020, 2021. And I think that everybody who just kind of inches towards saying, hey, it's happening, it's happening, it's happening, you'll know when it's happening, okay? And Ondo Finance not being around back in 2020, 2021, they've never seen one. So that's kind of what has me most excited about what could come with the price action with Ondo Finance personally. And let's get down into this big news that came out today. Okay, so as we talk about the Oasis Pro acquisition, I'll give you my thoughts. And before we do, if you are a crypto trader, you're looking for a new start, want to start trading on BITUNIX, I do have a link in my description for 25% bonus into your futures account. So if you are a spot leverage trader, BitUnix does have that promotion going on right now. If you use my link, you are a new user. Just make sure it's right for you where you're located. Sign up today, okay? It's the exchange that I use personally, and wanted to share that with you guys before we get going, okay? But this is where we're looking into the hopes for an Ondo breakout, and does it have the momentum to rapidly explode, okay? The RWA world is booming, and I think within the sector, does Ondo have the momentum to break out? Okay, this is where we've seen the Oasis Pro acquisition. This is where it is a firm that holds several SEC licenses, and now from DeFi to TradFi, that's integration that they've officially completed within the acquisition of Oasis Pro. Its broker dealer alternative trading system and transfer agent licenses. This has been approved, and this enables Ondo Finance to expand its access into the tokenized security market even more so, right? This is predicted to exceed $18 trillion by 2033. Kind of why I'm long on RWAs, why I believe in Ondo, and I've been saying it from the mountaintops. I can't tell you guys to buy or sell crypto, not financial advice, but my personal strategy with an Ondo is anytime I can get Ondo under a dollar, under 90 cents, it just simply just sparks a thought in my head. For me personally, it's just way too cheap. Okay. So that's just how I feel about it. As we look into this, we're going to have our good days. We're going to have our bad days within crypto. Not meant for everybody, right? There's a ton of volatility. A lot of people maybe just brought up onto the TradFi way of doing trading of stocks and securities. Crypto's a whole nother beast. Okay. And telling you from experience, it does break you down. Okay. You have to be strong and grind it out. It's not for everybody. Say that. Okay. But now, as we look at what was once just a DeFi protocol that issued RWA tokens, is now legitimizing itself by becoming an infrastructure player that can legally operate, and integrate within U.S. financial frameworks, which is a prerequisite for attracting the institutional investors that we all covet as Ondo and RWA holders to bring assets on chain. Okay. Ondo's total value locked, which is what we look at within a DeFi ecosystem. This is where we've reached an all-time high in Q3 of $1.74 billion, with that Q3 revenue and fees totaling around 13.7 million. At the same time, we've seen them surpass $300 million in tokenized assets. Okay. So I know a lot of people are watching this and you're saying, oh, you're just throwing out a bunch of numbers. I am. Okay. And unfortunately, you won't get those numbers unless you literally watch somebody talking about it and explaining it to you, because that is what is going to drive Ondo. Okay. It's the organic, intrinsic growth that's happening with them that you're not going to, turn on CNN, Fox News, whatever your, political affiliation is, and you're not going to see those business headlines where it says, oh, Ondo Finance Look at their total value locked. Look at this growth that they're seeing within their ecosystem. You're not going to see that in a newspaper. It's not going to be a something that you're going to be at the coffee shop talking finance or money with. And some 70-year-old millionaire that doesn't have any exposure to crypto is not going to tell you about. Okay, that's just how it works. And unfortunately, it's not something flashy or sexy that's going to grab users' attention. But if you put it all together, and you've been watching me talk Ondo over the last year and a half, this is a crypto that has been slowly and steadily building. You can't really deny the run that they've been on. Okay. Now that tokenized asset stronghold, now over 300 million. This also does reflect the tokenized treasuries, stocks, and stable coins. So the surge of traders and demand that we will see for real world on-chain products. This is something where a lot of people want to see alternatives to the traditional finance world, where subject to interest rates, all this other stuff that does happen. This is kind of where Ondo will have their chance. And I think that as we look at the technicals behind it, we are still trading as we look at it right here, right now. I'll pull it up for you guys. And this is where you can find Ondo Finance. And this is going to probably come as a shock to somebody, to most of you guys, actually. Ondo Finance is almost outside of the top 50 in crypto. And that's always been my sweet spot, is finding cryptos with market caps at around, say that 15, 20 ranking, all the way down to basically 50 or even 65. Just that's my sweet spot. Okay, you want to find good projects that have incredible growth opportunities. And RWA is one of those sectors that does it for me. Okay, so as I keep saying, it's not financial advice. I'm just sharing with you my thoughts and what I'm doing personally. Okay, but this Oasis Pro acquisition does set them up for the future. And as we look at the range that we have, very strong support at 86 cents. So as the price currently stands at 90 cents, it's a nice little dip if you wanted to add some Ondo. Okay, and for context, also, this is kind of where we've seen a full cycle. I don't think it's been a bull cycle. It's not been anything close to what we saw back in 2020. But we do have Bitcoin at all-time highs, roughly, and we've seen that rotation as altcoin season, and that index is booming. So that's a good indicator to look at. But also, we saw that bubble top within that capitulation phase stabilize, and then in late September, okay, that's where we saw a lot of balancing, and then we've seen kind of the potential for Ondo overheating if the volume spiked even further. And that's kind of what we've had. So it's been kind of a cool down period, and that's kind of been that correction that we've been witnessing. But I think from a fundamental standpoint, Ondo's going to be immune to, I think, a lot of the broader market stroke, because what they rely on, or what they want to do from an institutional growth standpoint, it all hinges on the SEC and what the regulating bodies end up kind of doing in regards to RWAs moving forward. Okay, so keeping that compliance and opening the door for institutional interest, that inflow of capital, that's what we covet. That's kind of what we've seen happen. And for Ondo to sustain a breakout, and not only just these integrations such as Oasis Pro that I'm talking about, have to keep the capital inflows coming from a tokenized demand from the institutions, and also keeping the whales happy, because those are the things that will ultimately kind of fend off the sell pressure that would lead retail just flowing in. Because I got to be honest with you guys, and this is just my take. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. But I think if I would ask 100 crypto traders, I don't think I would say 60% of them at least probably have no idea what Ondo Finance is. Okay, so that's just my thoughts. Appreciate you guys tuning in. If you haven't done so by now, this is a perfect time to hit that like button and subscribe before exiting. I want to thank you once more for watching this video, and we'll see you all in the next one. Enjoy the rest of your day. Cheers.